Hello, this is Emma of EmmaLiveYoga and welcome to this stretch and breathe yoga class for back care. So if you've arrived with any niggles, any aches and pains, any actual pain or just some general discomfort, then this class is for you. We're going to be looking at how yoga can be a healing tool for dealing with our backs holistically with various asana and pranayama. So, without further ado, we're going to get started in semi-supine position. Know that our first move might be unfamiliar to you. It's a back traction move, so it might be after we've centered that you come through to seated, so you can have a look at this move and then lay back down again. So just taking a few moments to get settled. Make sure you have bricks, blocks, certainly a belt that you will need there ready for your practice. So as you arrive, just bend the knees, walk the feet under the knees, open the palms of the hands. So we'll begin our class as always with a few deep breaths to bring ourselves into this moment. So take in a big breath in and out. And doing this again, breathing in and out. So allowing the eyes to close for a few moments. And beginning to settle into the body, settle into the breath. And feel the back of the body beginning to release with each rachaka, each exhale. And feel the heart space gently blossom and open with each puraka, each inhale. Beginning to settle into the felt sensations of body and breath. And as we embark on this stretch and breathe class for back care, just take a few moments to see how you feel on Annamaya Kosha, the physical layer. So observing with no judgment. No recrimination, just seeing what's going on, how you feel, and also how you feel in Manomaya Kosha, the mental layer, the flow of thoughts, and Vijnanamaya Kosha, the emotional layer, the stream of emotions. But begin to connect actively to Pranamaya Kosha, the flow of the breath, feeling the healing quality of the breath, which allows us to tap into this inner Shanti state of peace and harmony. So as you arrive here, you may wish to bring a sankalpa, a focus to your practice. Some simple words to focus on to make your practice a personal one. Planting these seeds of intention in the fertile soil of the heart space of Anahata. Feel you can breathe in with calm and awareness. And breathe out any busyness of mind. And doing 2 more full breaths like this to center. So as you complete these breaths, gently blink open the eyes. We'll begin with Uttanasana, taking a breath in. On the exhale, gently gather the knees into the belly, taking shins or backs of thighs. Inhale. Exhale, begin to gently rock from side to side. Breathing in to one side, out to the other. A nice slow mindful action, just seeing how the lower back is feeling. Saying hello to the lower back, connecting to the breath. And then inhale to center. Exhale, bring the feet to the floor, open the palms of the hands. Take an inhale to the collarbones. And exhale to let go. So we're going to begin with a simple back traction exercise. Sometimes lower back pain can come from compression of the lower back, particularly L5 and L6. So if this action eases it, you'll know that that might be an issue in your back compression. So from this position, if you need to come to seated to see what's going on, please feel free, and then we can go into this. So what you will do is bring the heels of the hands to rest just at the tops of the thighs, where the thighs meet the hip crease. From here, you'll take a breath in, and on the exhale, you'll press gently into the hip crease until you can begin to straighten the elbows and then lift the chest away from the floor. You'll hold that position, just keeping this little mini back arch, so the mid-back will lift away from the floor, but the lower back will stay grounded. And we'll just hold this traction for about 5 breaths. Then, when we get to the final round, you'll release the pressure through the heels of the hands and just allow the back to drop down, opening the palm. So we'll begin now if you haven't started. So bring the heels of the hands to rest in the hip crease, the top of the thighs. Make sure the sacrum is grounded. Inhale. On the exhale, press the heels of the hands into the hip crease as you begin to lift the chest gently. And then hold here, breathing into the heart space. Feel the mid-back lifting away from the floor and also the upper back. Just keep that pressure on through the heels of the hands into the hip crease. Breathing freely. Nice and easy. We're doing 5 breaths here, so we're already about halfway through. Keep a lift of the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, just to stabilize through the lower back. And keep the feet on the floor also. That's it. So we'll take one more easy breath here. Then on the exhale, release the pressure through the hands. Allow the back to slowly release to the floor. Roll the palms of the hands open. And just allow the eyes to close and take 2 easy breaths in neutral spine. Feeling the back settle, being aware of any sensations. Shoulders releasing. So then from here, take another breath in. On the exhale again, just hold the knees into the belly, so a little self-hug, a little squeeze, just to equalize through the sacrum. And then on the exhale, bring the feet back to the floor. And now taking hold of your belt as we move on. So we're going to do some versions of Supta Pada Uttanasana using the belts. We're going to work into this in dynamic fashion. So just taking out equal amounts of belt to each side. Bring the middle of the belt to the ball of the right foot. Inhale. And on the exhale, just begin to press the heel out towards the ceiling. And settle into a single finger and thumb grip, so there's no tension in the fingers. And allow the elbows to rest level with the shoulders, so the shoulders can relax entirely. Take an inhale. Exhale, gently peel the toes back of the right foot as you push out through the heel, but make sure not to lock the knee joint. Find the waves of breath. If it feels comfortable too, you might slide the left leg out. If there's anything uncomfortable in the back, then just keep the foot on the floor. So from here, on the inhale, drift the leg away from you and know the leg may be bent or straight. And then exhale as you guide the belly into the spine, Uddiyana Bandha, draw the leg in. So a little dynamic stretch here. Inhale, foot drifts away, so just easing into the hamstring. Exhale to empty, foot drifts towards. Inhaling to drift away, finding the rhythm of your breath. This time on the exhale as the foot drifts towards, just gently holding that stretch, rest the elbows down. Breathing up and down the length of the spine, keep the shoulders and jawline relaxed. So sometimes the tightness we feel, discomfort in our back can come from our iliac psoas, our hip flexors, the hamstrings. So we'll be working holistically into areas which also affect the back as part of our back care. So this is Uttanasana Uttanasana variation A. So we'll move on to B variation. On the next inhale, bring both ends of the belt into the right hand. And on the exhale, anchor the left hip with the left hand. So just gently press that hip down. Inhale, you can bring the right elbow to the floor to control the action. And on the exhale, drift the right leg out to the right side, so opening out. Keep a squeeze of the pelvic floor. Again, we're staying dynamic here. So inhale to drift the leg back up a little, not all the way. And then exhale as you drift the leg slowly back out. So easing into the inner thighs, easing into the hips. About one more inhale as the leg drifts to center. Exhale as the leg drifts out to the side. To your own measure, so wherever you can feel the stretch is fine. Make sure that left hip doesn't pop up, keep it anchored, and then hold this stretch and breathe. And again, you can allow the eyes to close. So turning the gaze inward in an act of pratyahara, sense withdrawal. This is the fifth limb of yoga. Sometimes it helps us to settle into sensation with more intuition so we can feel where we need to be. So nice and easy, no forcing here, no strain. If you need to lift out of this stretch, that's okay. One more breath. So then squeezing Mula Bandha on the inhale, drift the leg back to center. We'll come into a Pavarita version of this, a twist. So on the exhale, bring both ends of the belt into the left hand. Take the right arm out to the side at shoulder height with the palm open. Inhale. Exhale, begin to guide the leg over to your left side. Again, until you can feel a stretch. You can control this with the left elbow down. And then we'll lift out again. Inhale, lift out of this a little. So just easing into the IT band. Exhale to drift over. Again, we're doing 3 rounds of this before we hold the final round. Inhale to lift. So working into the piriform tissue. Maybe a little bit into the sciatic nerve. So these are all areas which can affect our backs. So if you've got any tightness here, that might have a knock-on effect. So just see what's going on. On the final round, on the exhale, just taking that leg to wherever it feels therapeutic. If you wish to, you can turn the head to look to the right side. The weight of the head acts as a bit of a counterbalance to the weight of the leg. Inhale to the heart space, turn the belly towards the ceiling. Exhale, try to keep the right shoulder nestled into the floor, breathing and feeling. And then inhale, squeeze the pelvic floor as you guide the leg and the head back to center. Exhale, carefully bend the knee of the right leg, release the belt carefully to one side, don't get entangled. And then just begin to slide out into full Shavasana, floppy ankles, palms open. If this feels too much for your back, now you can keep the feet on the floor, no problem, with the knees bent. As you arrive, allow the eyes to close. Take a big inhale to expand. Big exhale to let go. And just take this moment to breathe and be. Dropping into any new spaces you may feel emerging. And just feeling the nervous system cycling down after the stretch. Now this helps to reduce inflammation in the body. Make sure you can soften around the kneecaps, you can soften around the shoulders. So then as the dust settles, you can gently blink the eyes open, going to change sides. So on the inhale, bring the right foot back to the floor. Exhale, taking hold of the belt once again, bend the left knee in this time, and bring the middle of the belt to the ball of the left foot. Extending out to your own measure, find to keep the leg bent. Again, nestle the elbows level with the shoulders. Nice and easy grip with the first finger and thumb. So just testing the waters on the inhale, peel the toes back of the left foot. Exhale. See how things are on this side. Make sure never to lock your knees. Keep a little softness there. You can stay here. Or again, if you wish to, option 2 is to slide out the right leg if that feels comfortable. This has the ancillary effect of releasing the hip flexor, again, an area which can affect the back. So inhale. On the exhale, glide the foot towards you, maybe a little, just see. And then inhale as you glide the foot away from you. So just easing out the stretch, keeping it nice and easy. Exhale, a slow drift towards. Feel what you can feel. That's it, embrace any sensations. Inhaling to drift away, same as before. That's it, looking good. Exhale, keep drawing the belly in, keep a hold of those bandhas. Inhale to drift away. And this time, exhale, drift towards, no force or strain, so wherever the leg comes to organically, and just pause there. Keep reconnecting with your breath. Stay relaxed around the jawline, the shoulders, give the fingers a wiggle. Good, make sure the kneecaps are relaxed, the quads are releasing. Got 2 more breaths here before we move on. So these are routines I do regularly to keep everything nice and easy. Particularly at the end of the day, this is good if you've tightened up during the day from walking or jogging or whatever you've been doing, sitting. So then on the next inhale, bring both ends of the belt into the left hand. Exhale, bring the right hand to rest on top of the right hip, just to anchor that hip down. Nestle the left elbow level with the shoulder. Inhale, heel the toes back. Exhale, using the belt, begin to drift the leg out to the left side. Doesn't have to be anything dramatic. No, we're going to come in and out of this. So inhale, squeeze the pelvic floor to drift the leg slowly back up a little. And exhale to release the leg slowly down a little. Do 2 more of these. Allowing the breath to guide the movement. Making sure the right hip doesn't creep up, stay equally placed on the low back so the back stays safe. And the final round on the exhale, just taking that stretch to wherever you can feel comfortable discomfort. So never pain, but comfortable discomfort we would expect maybe around the inner thigh and the hips, the steady breathing. If you want to take the head to the right side, feel free. And squeeze the pelvic floor. Inhale, bring in head and legs slowly back to center. Moving from B variation of Supta Pada Uttanasana, exhaling to Pavarita. So bring both ends of the belt into the right hand. And take the left arm out at shoulder height, palm open. Inhale. Exhale, begin to drift the left leg over to the right side. Just feel any resistance, any intense sensations emerge there. Stay with the breath. And inhale as you glide the leg all the way back up. Exhale to glide all the way back in. You're in control of this, so you can make it as shallow or as deep as you wish. You've got 2 more. Shoulders are relaxed. Make sure your fingers are still relaxing. 1 more. Might be different on this side. Just stay flexible in how you practice. And on the exhale, as we drift over, just go into that static hold. You can glide the head to look to the left side. Belly and chest turning subtly towards the ceiling, and left shoulder nestles into the floor. Steady breathing. Try not to tighten around the kneecaps, trying to release there. One more breath wherever you are. All is well. And inhale as you lift slowly back to center. Exhale, bending the left knee. Release the belt to one side. And then slowly slide out, either into semi-supine or full Shavasana. Just make sure the spine is straight on your mat. Flop your ankles, open palms, close the eyes. Take a big inhale to the collarbones. Big exhale to let go. Allow yourself to drift towards stillness for a few moments. This drifting towards stillness is called Narojaha. Allows us to enter a peaceful state and feel a body and mind connection. So then, once everything is settled, on the inhale, walk both feet slowly back to the floor if you took the Shavasana option. And on the exhale, once again, gather the knees into the belly, just have a little hug in, have a little squeeze, a little rock. We're going to come through to seated, so you can either roll to one side, come through that way. Any discomfort in your back, I would recommend you do that. Or you can roll up and down the spine as you wish. So, coming through, we're going to come through to an all-fours position, setting up for Majjhariasana. The cat pose, very familiar to most. Nice way to articulate the spine. So having the hands underneath the shoulders, do set up a blanket underneath your knees if you need that. And knees are underneath the hips, fingers and thumbs are spread. Gently draw the shoulders back away from the ears and just keep some tone through the abdominals. Then from here on the inhale, belly dips, heart lifts forward, lift the gaze. On the exhale, tuck the tailbone under, arch the back, chin to chest. Inhale, belly dips, heart comes forward, moving with the breath, chin lifts. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, arch the back, chin to chest. So flowing through 2 more rounds here, just feeling that segmental movement through the spine. Being aware of any tender spots and just practicing with ahimsa, lots of kindness and love for the body. When you've completed those rounds, on the inhale, you'll come back to neutral spine. On the exhale, you'll then bring the forearms down and slide the knees back as we set up for Sphinx Pose. Come into lane on the belly. Position the elbows underneath the shoulders. And I would encourage you to roll your heels out to the sides, just to take the hips to internal rotation. This helps your sacrum to relax. And what you want to avoid is squeezing the bum cheeks, squeezing the glutes. So from here on the inhale, just sink the head and neck into the shoulders, roll the heels out. Then on the exhale, lift the chest forward, draw the shoulders back, and point the toes. I'm going to come in and out of this dynamically. So inhale, soften, shoulders lift, roll the heels out, let the head dangle. Exhale, push into the elbows, pull back on the hands, lift the chest forward, don't squeeze the glutes, and point the toes. Got 2 more of these. If this feels too much on your back, just walk the elbows further forward. Inhale to sink and soften. Exhale, heart comes forward, pull back on the elbows, feel that lovely space through the lumbar spine, shoulders draw back. That's lovely. We've got 1 more. Inhale to sink and soften. Remember to roll the heels out. Exhale, pull back on the elbows, lift the heart space, feel the stretch of the belly, and toes point. From here, inhale. Exhale, sink through the shoulders. This time, slide the hands underneath the shoulders or towards the rib cage. On the inhale, squeeze Mula Bandha. We're going to lift to an all-fours position, squeezing those elbows in. Exhale, walk the knees in. You can either have the knees together or apart. Tuck the tailbone, inhale, and on the exhale, begin to sink back into Uttanasana Malasana, extended child. So sinking back as you creep the hands forward. Now you can bring your forehead to rest on any support or towards the floor, but do make sure that your head is on something. As you arrive, take a big inhale into the back of the body. Big exhale, soften around the shoulders. Feel wake and release. Nice big breaths into the backs of the lungs. This helps to release the back muscles. Big exhale to release back down. Just got 1 more breath here. Then from here, on the inhale, walk the hands underneath the shoulders. Exhale, begin to lift up towards Virasana, so sitting back on the heels. Now if you do have 2 bricks or blocks, you're going to stack these on top of each other, and you're going to take them over towards your left side. So we're going to work into lateral extension, the QT areas of the side body. Sometimes these areas are tight, which can make our back feel not so good. So from this position, on the inhale, you'll rotate above the waist to the left side, and on the exhale, you can begin to walk the hands forward. So that's an option, staying on the hands and dropping the gaze towards the bricks. Gently squeeze the knees towards each other. It might be you can bring the forearms to rest on top of your support and just gaze lightly towards the thumbs. It might be you can bring the forearms all the way down either side of the bricks and bring the forehead to rest on the bricks. Wherever you are, feel you can keep your knees towards each other and begin to direct the breath into the right side of the body. Big inhale. So into the Pingala channel, the right side, active. Exhale to soften around the shoulders. If this is too much from the knees, know that you just need to stay higher up, on the fingertips maybe. Inhale to expand into the right side. Exhale to let go. We've got 2 more breaths here. If you want to take it even further out to the left, be my guest. So if you want to take it deeper, you can. Just feeling the side body opening. We've got 1 more deep breath here. Then from here, squeeze Mula Bandha on the inhale. Begin to shift back towards center, taking your bricks with you. Exhale, just pause a moment on the upright. If you need to give this kneeling position a break, you can always lift up to high kneeling. That's better for your body. And then shift your bricks over to the right side. We'll take the same process. So squeezing the knees together, or even squeezing a cushion between the knees if that helps. Sit nice and tall. Inhale, rotate to the right side, bring the fingertips down. Exhale. Inhale, walk the hands forward to your own measure, keeping those knees together. Exhale. So we have the same options. You can stay here. You can bring the forearms to rest on the bricks. Let go of the head. Or you can bring the forearms either side of the bricks and bring the forehead to the bricks. Wherever you are, check in with the breath. Make sure you can still breathe. And now begin to focus the breath down the Ida channel, the left side of the body, the passive. Big inhale to expand. Feel the intercostals lift. Big exhale to let go, soften around the shoulders. Staying here for 3 more breaths. Allow the eyes to close, drop into sensation. Taking 1 more breath. And inhale, gently walking the hands back in, coming slowly towards the upright. And exhale as you arrive, coming back to neutral Virasana, and just take an easy breath there. Allow the body to settle. So from here, we're going to open out the backs of the legs in Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. So on the inhale, just come through to all fours position. Exhale, we're going to come to a wider angle. So walk the hands as wide as the mat. Tuck the toes under. Just take your weight forward, inhale. Exhale, push and lift back into downward dog. And then also walk the feet as wide as the mat. So nice wide angle. As you lift the kneecaps, encourage the heels towards the floor. You might feel a bit more spacious in doing that from this angle. Reach the sitting bones up and back. Let the head dangle, the neck is free. And you can just gaze towards the back of the mat. Breathing and feeling, opening out the backs of the legs. So creating some space in the lower back. So there's different ways you can do this posture. You can reach the sitting bones up and back, which takes you to external rotation. You can tuck the tailbone slightly. So if you have any discomfort in your lower back, sometimes that helps to alleviate that, and that takes the stretch into the calves as an alternative. So now you can play around with this, kind of rocking in the bowl of the pelvis, tucking under, and then pushing the sitting bones up and back. But just do this very gently. Got 1 more breath. Then from here on the inhale, keeping the wide angle, begin to walk the hands back towards the feet. Again, you can keep the knees bent here. So if you need to bend the knees, no problem. Exhale. Then I'm going to set up a brick or a block between the feet on the highest setting in case you need to perch on this. We're coming to a posture called Malasana, Garland pose. On the inhale, you'll take the toes to pointing externally, so pointing outwards. Inhale. And on the exhale, begin to sit back, so into a little squat. Make sure the knees are tracking the toes. If this feels too low to sit down, you'll bring your forearms to rest above the knees and just bring the palms together. So that's a modification. You need that for your knees. You might keep the fingertips down and just lower yourself until you can perch on your brick or block, and then just scoot your feet a bit further out to the sides. You might need to wriggle around a bit to get the right position. From there, you can lift up and just bring the elbows above the knees. Bring the hands into Anjali Mudra and roll the shoulders back. If you need to rest out of this at all, that's fine. Know you can do this from seated. If this is problematic, you can just take the legs wide and bring the hands to prayer position like that. So choose the best option for yourself. So Malasana is a great pose, whichever variation you're in, for opening out the lower back muscles, which also has an effect on the thoracic spine and the upper back. So breathe in, lift in the chest. Pressing the palms together firmly, just stabilizing through the shoulders. A nice steady drishti into the eyebrow space of Ajna chakra. One more breath. So then from here, on the inhale, release the hands. We're going to transition to Uttanasana, forward bend. So on the exhale, turn the toes to point forwards. Bring the fingertips down. Inhale, begin to float the sitting bones up and back. You can pop your brick to one side as you're doing that. Exhale, walk the feet back to hip distance. And then just allow the knees to bend so the back muscles can relax. So feet at hip distance, dangly head in Uttanasana variation. Just take hold of the forearms or the wrists. Inhale. And on the exhale, just begin to rock from side to side. So we're back to the side body in relation to Sushumna channel, the spinal column. And then as you come to center, inhale, gently open the backs of the knees to your own measure. So straighten the legs to your own measure, keep the head dangling. And exhale, rebend the knees and go back to the rocking. So moving intuitively, nice and easy. Just giving the body time to open. We'll do this once more. Inhale as you come to center, float the sitting bones up and back, maybe straighten the legs. Exhale, know you can keep the legs straight this time if you wish, or you can rebend as you need to. So whatever your back feels it needs, follow that message. Then come to stillness in the center, release the hands down, bring the fingertips down. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins and lift the heart forward, so lengthen the spine. That's it, lovely. Then on the exhale, bend the knees and we're going to roll down round the back into a floppy ragdoll. So let the fingers dangle forward, tip your weight into your toes rather than the heels, dangly head, dangly fingers. Squeeze the pelvic floor, inhale. Exhale, begin to roll slowly up the vertebra of the spine. Just to about the halfway point, pause there. Inhale, tip the weight forward. Exhale, continue to roll slowly up until we arrive in Jalandhara Bandha, so just the chin to the chest. As you arrive there, tip your weight forward and feel the openings through the upper back. You can straighten the legs or you can micro-bend the knees, whatever's best. Inhale. Exhale, continue to roll up, so rolling the shoulders up, around the ears, back and down. As you arrive into Tadasana, open the palms, feel you can rest back into the shoulder blades. And just take a few moments here to feel grounded through the soles of the feet. Nice steady gaze, breath is moving. Make sure the knees are slightly soft, no locking. Heart space is open. Then bring the hands back to Anjali Mudra. Just bow the head for a moment to reconnect with the intention you set at the beginning. As we continue this journey, stretching, breathing, with a focus on our back health, our back care. And from here, inhale, lift the prayer hands up as you lift the gaze. And exhale, circle the wrist down through flamenco wrist. Just doing a little wrist release there. And then shake out the wrists and shake out the ankles. So from here, we're going to do a little standing work. Again, we're still working with these side areas of the body to free up the back muscles. So from this position, you'll interweave the fingers as you stand with the feet hip distance apart. You'll inhale, scoop the hands up initially to shoulder height. Exhale, just so you can drop the shoulders and lift the chest. Any shoulder issues, you might stay at this level, no problem. Otherwise, on the inhale, you'll continue to lift up. Doesn't have to be straight up, but wherever you can get to. Then on the exhale, you'll begin to turn towards your left side. So try to turn from above the waist, keep the hips square. And on the exhale, begin to descend down the left side. The beginning to descend, this will feel a little bit awkward. If you need to bend the knees a bit, that's no problem. Keep going with the knees if you need to. Otherwise, keep going until the hands touch down either side. to the left side of the left foot. It might be you need to bring those hands to rest on a brick or block, and then you can just let the head dangle. So whatever you need to do to support that, gently draw the right hip back. Then from here, inhale, shift to the right side. Take your brick or block with you. Exhale, let the head dangle. Have the clasped hands resting either on the floor or on some support, or maybe just in space. Make sure you haven't locked the knees, and gently draw the left hip back. Then squeeze the pelvic floor, inhale. Press firmly into the heels to lift up that right side. I feel like a bit of an effort. Lift, 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 strengthening those back muscles. All the way back to center. And exhale. Relax the shoulders. We're going to do this in reverse. Keep the hands up. Inhale, lift. On the exhale, turn from above the waist to the right side and begin to descend down that right side. Gently draw that left hip back until the hands touch down. Let the head dangle. Try to keep your weight forward as we practiced earlier. Nice steady breathing. Just go to wherever you can. Bent knees is always an option. Steady breathing. Inhale, transition to center. You might take your support with you. Exhale, transition to the left side. Again, let the head dangle. Let go of that weight. This time, draw the right hip back. Inhale, press into the heels. Lift through the core as we lift up the left side. That's lovely, everyone. Good. Feel that big stretch. Exhale as you come to center. Unclasp the hands and float the hands all the way down. Good. As you arrive there, you might want to do a few little shoulder rolls just for comfort. Good. So then from here, take a breath in. On the exhale, begin to roll back down through your ragdoll. Floppy head, floppy fingers, knees are bent, weight is in the toes, rolling down to about the halfway point. Pause there. Inhale. Exhale, continue to roll down till the hands touch down. Then you can look forward. Inhale, begin to walk the hands back forward. If you want to bring the knees straight down, you can. Otherwise, exhale, you can sink back into traditional downward dog. So the feet are hip distance, hands are shoulder distance. Let go of the head. If that's too much, feel free to bring the knees down. And then inhale, bend the knees and carefully bring yourself down to seated, however is best. Exhale as you arrive. And from here, we're going to come down for a reclining twist. So making your way down. Do have your 2 bricks or blocks to hand. If you do need to support your head, you might have a cushion or whatever you wish to use underneath your head. As we arrive back in semi-supine, just take a moment there to regroup. Take a few nice, easy, expansive breaths as you feel the back of the body spreading out once again. And from here, you can allow the inner knees to touch and just walk the feet towards the outer edges of the mat for a position called Constructive Rats. So this allows the sacrum to spread. Just take some nice neutralizing breaths here. So then from this position, you can take both your bricks level with the hips over to the left side. You will probably need to adjust them again as we go into this reclining twist. So then on the inhale, you'll gather the knees back into the belly as we did earlier. And on the exhale, begin to drift the knees over to the left side, maybe alighting on a single brick or 2 bricks stacked, stacking the knees towards each other. If that's uncomfortable on the knees, you may bring a blanket or a cushion between the knees, no problem. From here, on the inhale, roll the right shoulder down into the floor and open the palm of the right hand. You can rest the left hand on the outside of the right thigh and begin to breathe deeply. Feel the right shoulder settle on the exhale. Inhale to expand and lift the heart space. Exhale to settle and surrender. So this is option 1, you can stay here. Make sure the left hand is really relaxed. Option 2, if you wish, is to extend out the top leg, the right leg, out to the side. And this just increases the release through the lower back. These are always options, so just take whatever feels best for you in this moment. Okay, nice and easy, breath moving. Now another option here, and the final option, is to extend both legs out to the side. If you're taking that option, you might stack your brick or your block underneath the ankles. So both legs out to the left side, level with the hips. Right shoulder still nestled to the floor and belly turning towards the ceiling. Chest turning. And just breathing here. This is option 3. If that feels too much, please do take it back to the first 2. Few more breaths. You want to turn the head to the right side. That's another option. Then if you've taken that straight leg option, just carefully bend in both those knees. And take a breath in, lift the pelvic floor. On the exhale, just draw the knees back into the belly and just pause at that midpoint and just carry your support over to the opposite side where you need it to be. That's it. I'm turning the opposite direction so you can still see what I'm doing. So then we'll go into the reclining twist to the right side. So take a breath in, knees are on the belly. Exhale, drift those knees over to the right side, ideally onto some support so your back can truly relax. Then inhale, open the heart to the ceiling, drop that left shoulder down to the floor as you open the palm of the left hand. Find the breath as you bring the right hand to rest lightly on top of the left thigh. Back of the neck is long. Breathing and feeling. And just allowing wherever you are to be enough. In a spirit of true self-acceptance, which is what yoga is all about. We can deal with the vagaries of the body, but we don't have to judge. We can be patient. We can be kind. Option 2, same as before, is to extend out the top leg. This takes you a bit more into the sciatic nerve, the lower back, the IT band. If it feels too much, then avoid it. The final option is both legs straight out to that right side. And again, you can move your support possibly underneath the ankles so the feet are suspended from the floor. Nice lymphatic drainage. Make sure those legs are level with the hips and no higher than that. Cultivating the breath. So wherever you are, I've got a few more breaths. So then if you've taken the straight leg option, on the inhale, carefully bend those knees back in. Exhale. Inhale, lift the bandhas, slowly draw the knees back towards center. Exhale, just do a lift of the head, bring the feet down so you can check that you're equally placed on the lower back, so you're not at an angle. Everything is centrally aligned. Then on the next inhale, you can gather the knees back in again. This time, take the knees wide for Ananda Balasana, half laughing baby. On the exhale, draw the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Now you can take hold of the back of the thighs, shins, ankles, the feet or toes, whatever feels best. Hinge the knees towards the armpits, inhale. Exhale, you can either stay static or begin to rock from side to side. And just feel you can curl the tailbone up towards the heels, feel that opening. Breathing and feeling. So into our journey into back health, I've learned often the hard way that sometimes less is more. And we need to cultivate those rest days, those periods where we don't ask anything of the back, where we allow it to rest, we allow it to twist and be. We don't get too busy. So then inhale as you come into center. Exhale, gather the knees back into the belly. Inhale, bring the feet to the floor. Exhale. So this time, just walk the feet a bit further forward. So rather than being underneath the knees, walk the feet maybe an extra footprint forward. And this is to release the hip flexors, the iliopsoas. So make sure the lower back is still in contact with the floor. If it feels too vulnerable, then walk the feet back in. But otherwise, just place the hands lightly on the belly. Relax the shoulders and elbows. And just allow those hip flexors, the fronts of the thighs, that gentle opening. Usually they're in a state of contraction, so just something as simple as this for 5 or 10 minutes a day helps the flexors to relax, and of course helps the back to relax. As you place the hands on the hara space, the seat of personal power, take an inhale to expand into this place. Belly rounds. Exhale to let go. Belly falls towards the spine. Doing this twice more. Inhale to expand. So you feel that you're letting go of any anxieties, any tensions from this space. Exhale to let go. And once more, inhale. Exhale. So then from here, just release the palms of the hands. I'm going to come into rest position from here. A little tip, if you particularly find Shavasana uncomfortable under the back, stretching the legs out feels a little bit tight in the back, I found placing the bricks underneath the backs of the thighs, one under each thigh, takes some of the contraction out of the back, particularly if you've got a deep lumbar curve, and actually creates a relaxation in the sacrum. So if you've got 2 bricks or blocks, you might want to try that. Underneath the thighs, just have a little shimmy from side to side. You feel a little decompression through the lower back. And open the palms. If that doesn't feel great, then just come to your usual rest position. And just allow the eyes to close. As we draw to the close of our stretch and breathe for back care, we can now begin to absorb the prana from the practice. With the palms open, feel a relaxation through the shoulders. And take a big breath to let go of the body entirely. As the body and mind begin to drift towards stillness, feel the prana is traveling to any areas which may need attention. So reading from a book called The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself, Michael A. Singer. The spiritual journey is one of constant transformation. In order to grow, you must give up the struggle to remain the same and learn to embrace change at all times. One of the most important areas requiring change is how we solve our personal problems. We normally attempt to solve our inner disturbances by protecting ourselves. Real transformation begins when you embrace your problems as agents for growth. So we can see our back issues as a problem or as an agent for growth, and maybe a lesson about how we are living our lives and working from that space instead. So now resting for a short time. And now becoming aware of the breath. And beginning to deepen the breath as you rise towards the surface. And sending the breath down into fingers and toes. Bringing some gentle movements here. Now moving the head slowly from side to side, easing out the back of the neck. And you're ready to, on the next inhale, reaching the arms up and back for a full body stretch. Big exhale to let go. Then drawing the knees into the belly and having a rock from side to side until you can roll over to your right side and drop the bones heavy into the floor. So pausing here for a moment to feel connected to your inner peace, your harmony, feeling the breath moving, the body content in a state of santosha. Then bringing the top hand to the floor beside the face, stretching out the top leg and coming through to comfortable seated. So sitting tall, lengthening the spine, lifting the heart space. And bringing the hands to Anjali Mudra as we give thanks for our health and our practice. Inhale to lift the prayer hands up. Exhale to center. Namaste. So thank you for practicing with me, everyone. I hope you're feeling good. I hope your back feels okay, and look forward to seeing you next time.